Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here today to the Drydene 400 for NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel. We are going to have a great race. It is race number 11 on the season for the NASCAR Cup Series side of things. Racing as Ryan Blaney for this season. 4 wins and just took over points lead at today's race. And this is the start of a great race weekend. The first for the Cup Series. We just finished the truck race 2 nights ago, and then last night we did the Xfinity Series race. Got a win in both of them, so looking to 3 the weekend. And first and foremost, we are going to qualify for today's race. So qualifying here at Dover. First trip to the racetrack this season. The next trip will be right at the end of the regular season. The second to last race of the regular season will be the next stop at Dover. 400 miles, 400 laps set for today. Blaney a little tight on corner exit off of turn 4. Warm-up lap is over. This lap will count. 1 lap. Pretty good through turns 1 and 2 there. He backed up his corner really well. Just a little tight off of turn 4 again. That's the second lap in a row. 23.898. 21st is where Ryan Blaney will qualify for today's race. 22.967 will be the pole time for today's race. About 9/10 of a second quicker than Blaney. Denny Hamlin, driver who is second in the point standings, will qualify on the pole. Kurt Busch will be starting outside pole in second. Called 48, welcome to the stream. And welcome everybody just tuning in here for this one as we get started here today for the Drydene 400. Should say the Drydene 400. If I'm saying that wrong, my bad. Brendan Gaughan starting at the rear of the field today. He is the only driver dropping to the back, so Blaney will keep his 21st starting position. At least he's on the inside. Green flag in the air. We're underway. 400 laps, 400 miles at Dover. Great initial start there. Only 75 laps in the opening stage of the race. So this first stage by Cup Series standards is going to fly by. Everybody should have enough fuel to the end of the stage, but what will the tire outlook be like in this opening stage of the race? We know this track is very, very aggressive when it comes to tire wear. Blaney had to lift off in turn 4, almost got into Christopher Bell. Denny Hamlin will lead lap 1. Joey Logano up to second, charging on the bottom. Couldn't quite clear Kyle Busch. Oh, Blaney's in the wall off of turn 2. And around goes Suarez down the back straightaway. Huge crash as he piles to the inside retaining wall. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was involved as well. Ty Dillon, I believe, got a piece of it. Huge crash down the back straightaway on lap 2 after Blaney gets into the wall and ricocheted back into Suarez. It's going pretty good, called. What a quick start to the race here. And we already get a big crash down the back straightaway. We have seen those kinds of accidents here before. Blaney luckily doesn't have a lot of damage. He's going to stay out on the racetrack. Daniel Suarez definitely got the worst of that. And already we see our first caution on lap 2. After Hamlin led the first lap and a half under green, he'll restart from the lead. Green flag back in the air again. And Blaney right back where he started in 21st. He gets through the gears so great. I mean, look at him just cut to the inside immediately. 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. Definitely got a little bit of damage around the race car, but it's only 2 seconds worth, so he'll be able to repair that under his next pit stop. He did not want to give up that track position, though, with it being only 2 laps into the race. BJ McLeod to the inside, 3 wide. Blaney got sandwiched between McLeod and David Reagan off of turn 4. Up the middle, 3 wide into turn 3. Underneath the 10 car of Alvarola. And he trying to slide underneath Jimmy Johnson. He got it to stick really well that time. Johnson really loose in the center of turns 1 and 2 as he hops to the inside of the 20 of Eric Jones. Oh wow, big run by Nemechek and Newman as they split Blaney off of turn 4. Very tight and 3 wide. Now they try to split Eric Jones. Both cars coming in with a ton of speed inside the top 20 now. As both Blaney and Jones got freight trained. Blaney to the inside of Jones now for position. Blaney hoping that this car loosens up over the course of the run. Ooh, just got in the back of Jones slightly there. Getting into turn 1, that just launched Jones way ahead of him. So that didn't work out at all. After the unintentional contact. Blaney again to the inside of Jones. Huge run, let the car roll through the center of the corner. Jones can't quite beat it back to the gas. Blaney will pass him, and now he is to the inside of John Hunter Nemechek in the 38. Nemechek now trying to cross over Blaney to the inside. Couldn't quite get the run down the front straightaway, and Blaney holds him off in turns 1 and 2. No doubleheader tonight, as long as we don't crash out of the race early on, that is. But yeah, no doubleheader in store tonight, just this cup race. This cup race is going to take a couple hours, so yeah, just this one here today. Blaney just ran his fastest lap at the early going of the race here, so the car slowly starting to increase speed. As the run carries on, the car automatically loosening up on itself. Next full race live stream will be coming your way tomorrow on the channel. It is a big one. It is a crown jewel event. The Coke 600 for the Cup Series will be tomorrow on the channel. Start time will be right around noon p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Hopefully you guys will be ready to join. Second crown jewel of the year. So we'll see who will have the momentum after winning today going into that Coke 600. Of course, an extra stage in that race, so a lot of points on the line. Score a max of 70 points. I think that's really going to set the tables for who will be the real regular season championship contenders after tomorrow. First, these guys trying to make it out of today, and Blaney slowly starting to move through the field again. Getting around some of these cars mid-panel. Got close, though. Blaney overran the corner a little bit and didn't want to run that far on the outside, as Johnson will now pass Matt Kenseth for 13. So, Jimmy Johnson, a driver who has won here 11 times in his career. The winningest driver at Dover. Right in front of Blaney. 12 car just got around the 42 of Matt Kenseth. Blaney starting to grip up a lot better, and just as we say that, he barely gets into the wall off of turn 2. Still a little tight, but it is definitely loosening up. Just over a quarter of the way through the actual tire run. And again, even after that caution, we had 4 caution laps in the early going of the race. After that lap 2 accident. Called again, we are in the championship lead after that win at Talladega. Should say Ryan Blaney's in the championship lead, but anyway, yeah. Blaney's in the championship lead, but only by 8 points over Denny Hamlin, so it is still really close. And Hamlin, of course, starting on the pole, is already putting Blaney behind the 8 ball. But the top 4 in points are all within 20 points of each other. So it is a 4-horse race at least right now. And if somebody maybe goes out and dominates the Coke 600 that's in the top 10 in points, that might not be in the top 4, they could get back into contention for that regular season title as well. A couple road course races still to go until the playoffs. Another super speedway race. So things could definitely be up in the air. We got another Crown Jewel event in the Brickyard 400 as well that might be able to shake things up even after the Coke 600 tomorrow. Harvick just outside the top 10, falls back to 12th. Blaney will work his way inside the top 10, getting around Christopher Bell going into turn 1 for that 10th position. Right behind his 2 Penske teammates, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano up here. Ryan Preece off to a rough start here today, back in last. He'll be the first lap car that the back half of the top 10 will catch here. Brendan Gaughan started at the rear, still running at the back in 39th. Will be the next lap car. 23.698 that last time for Blaney. Oh, contact with Gaughan. That was a treacherous spot too, right on the exit of turn 2. Large conga line of lap traffic in turns 1 and 2 right now. You see Kurt Busch, Alex Bowman battling for position way up ahead there. It's going to shake things up. .610 that time for the 12 car. Keselowski stuck right behind Chad Fincham. Blaney going to rip around the outside. Duck underneath the 34 of McDowell, and he's up to 8th. Logano riding up near that wall. Not a lot of guys in the top 10 running to that it was supposed to be in Martinsville. So tomorrow's race at noon Eastern Standard Time will be at Martinsville, not the Coke 600 at Charlotte. My bad on that one. I don't know what got over me there. The Xfinity 500 at Martinsville will be the race. Now it should be the Martinsville night race, but with this game, at least in the career mode, it's still raining in the daytime for whatever reason, so hopefully we could run it at night, but I just don't think that's going to be the case. Yeah, there's a... Yeah, sorry for an audio problem there. Never mind, it's back. Oh, okay. Yeah, if the audio is fine, we're going to have to stick with this. There's a pretty big storm going through my area for about the next hour or so. So there's probably going to be some lagging issues for the first half of the race, unfortunately. I'd have to assume that's probably going to mess with the Wi-Fi. Nobody else is on it currently, so that would have to be the only justifying reason for why that would be the case. And 12 car is almost getting a little too loose on the exit of these corners. Some Hendrick Chevrolets in the top 5. Byron, oh, was there a little contact? 3 wide. Blaney got pinched. He got hooked on the 24. Couldn't get off of him. Both cars are in the wall. They were 3 wide with the lap car of Suarez to the inside, and there wasn't a lot of room. Blaney was stuck in the middle, and once he made contact with Byron, he couldn't get off of him. And they both ended up in the wall, and now Elliott's knocking on the door. As this 3-car battle for 4th goes on, they finally get around Suarez. The 96 and the 12 car have been magnified together today through the first half of stage 1. Joe Gibbs Racing 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack, then a Penske and 2 Hendrick Chevrolets. Hamlin's got a pretty big lead over his teammates Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. Hamlin's won here a couple times in his career. Of course, won one of the Dover races this year. Of course, Dover ran the doubleheader this season due to their spring race having to be postponed due to COVID. And then obviously they ran both races on the same weekend. They were going to run the original second date, as they had that Saturday-Sunday doubleheader. No double here. He's got to make sure he takes care of that race car, though, to the end of stage 1. Past halfway through the tire run, we're halfway through the stage. 37 laps to go. That was his fastest lap, 23.967. Or sorry, no, that was not his fastest lap. I don't know what his crew chief just said there. I just said something about it being a fast lap. Some misinformation started this race tonight. Kyle Busch has a swarm of lap cars right around him. He is the second place car. McDowell, Wallace, Hill, Fincham all right around him, and Busch has nowhere to go. Blaney is going for second place into turn 3, drives it in deep. Trying to use the lap car of Timmy Hill as a pick, keeping Kyle Busch up on the top of the track, and well done there by Blaney. He's 3.5 seconds off the lead still, but he's up to second now. Denny Hamlin just looking like he's got the fastest car in the early going of this race. And the top 2 in the point standings are now running 1-2 in this race. Got a little bit of damage, is probably making this 12 car a little bit looser than it needs to be as well. That'll obviously again be repaired at the stage break as long as he has 5 seconds or less of damage. If not, he's probably just going to have to hold on the rest of the race, and that can be difficult. I've already seen him have a couple run-ins in the early going. And Denny Hamlin's lead is dwindling lap by lap now with the heavy lap traffic right around him. I mean, look at these cars. He's either already gotten through or still has to get through. Obviously less stress on that right front tire for Blaney, more on the right rear with how loose he could be getting here. Trying to stay in the gas. Gets around Josh Bilicki. Under a second off the lead now. And there's still about 4 or 5 more lap cars right in front of Hamlin. Hamlin just got around Johnson. Oh, Jimmy moved down right in front of Blaney, and that was an awkward angle into the corner for Ryan. As he has caught the 11 of Hamlin, 3 wide for the lead into turn 1 all of a sudden. He still kept the momentum up despite the contact with Hamlin the corner before. Here comes David Reagan. He slides right up in front of the 12 car. That's going to stall out Blaney's momentum, and now he pulls down right in front of him, and Hamlin's going to get back to the inside. Blaney beats Reagan to the outside off of turn 4 to put him a lap down. David Reagan off to a good start today in the top 15, but Ryan Blaney will take his first lead of the race at lap 47. So lap 47 of 75 in the opening stage, Blaney finally takes his first lead of the race, and he is doing everything he can to hang on to that race car. These guys are burning a lot of fuel here too. This might become a fuel mileage race to the end of stage 1. Plus, that right front tire is already down to about 30% wear remaining on the car for Blaney as well. So if we get a caution here in stage 1, you might be seeing some guys hit pit road. Of course, we already had one caution back on lap 2, but that was way too early for anybody to pit at that point in time. So this could get very interesting very shortly. And he's just trying to hustle around some of these cars right now, get as many cars a lap down as he can before the end of the stage or pit stops, whatever ends up happening. You wonder if some of these guys might be able to make it on fuel and tires to the end of the stage. And if they can, that could obviously hurt some of these faster cars' chances of winning this race early on. If they get trapped a lap down, they're going to spend most of stage 2 trying to get that lap back rather than actually racing for stage points. Guess they could still overcome it to win the race, but you can basically kiss stage points goodbye in each of the first 2 stages. Man. That car is really sideways. Again, a lot of it is probably that damage on the back of his car. Having those couple run-ins with both Suarez and William Byron in the first 50 laps of the race. Keselowski in 10th. Last car